rogue, rogue and rebellious is the jam here. There is no scripts or whatever. But mate, thank you for wanting to have a conversation with a guy who sounds a little weird and is too blonde.
Yeah, I was very surprised by the accent too. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, he's an
I
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone usually thinks I'm either Scottish, Irish. I've had German, which is I don't think I sound German, but
No.
whatever. No, no, I am English for the sins. I am indeed, mate. I wanted to ask you something. You got in your bio, you're more powerful than you think.
Yes.
Where's that come from? Oh, they can back away. It doesn't matter. I told you, this thing is
Okay.
rogue.
Breathe.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that is in my bio. It's what I live by. It's what I created my brand on, my whole brand and everything that I do, my women's empowerment retreats, my podcast, all my content, all of it is centered around this one statement that you are more powerful than you think. And the reason being is because a lot of us don't realize how powerful we are. If we are so powerful enough to create so much suffering in our life, why wouldn't we be so powerful that we can create everything that we ever desire? So my goal is to help women realize that they have it. It's already there. It just needs to be uncovered. So that's why I live by that.
That's a really beautiful little twist of if we are powerful enough to create so much struggle and suffering, then we must be powerful to create a lot of good out of it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I really like that. And
Thanks.
to be honest, like it links what I believe as well. Like I think everything you ever need is already within you. People and experiences just help pull it out. Right?
Very true.
It's in there. We just don't know where it is. Don't know where it's located. Can't find the door. It's too dark. Fuck,
We
we think it's upside
just need to
down.
turn the light on.
Yeah, just turn the light on, mate. Things are a little easier. Flick that little switch. It's like, yeah, but where
So
is it? I was like,
true.
fuck, I don't know. Stop feeling around. It's there. Try things. Yeah,
I love it.
I really do. Where did that come from?
Uh, Honestly, I have no idea. I don't remember where it stuck. I have no idea.
Hmm.
And I was actually thinking about that the other day, and I was like, where did this come from? I don't know where the phrase came from and when I like found it, heard of it, or anything, but I just remember through at least my own experience with actually doing the thing that I was living a life that, I wasn't proud of and I wasn't happy. I wasn't treating myself right. I wasn't treating people around me right because, misery loves company. And I was so powerful that I created everything that I didn't want. And once I started getting back into the gym, from there, I was like, if I can do this, what else could I change for the better? I was able to change my physique on my own. And not only did that give me more confidence, it also made me a nicer person. I radiated a different kind of energy that people were like more attracted to. And I just started like actually loving life again. So I started realizing that, okay, if I could do this in this aspect of my life, where else could I do it? And that's when I got more into like personal development and everything. And now here we are.
Once I started getting back into the gym, that little sentence
Hmm.
is beautiful because we know so many people that have gone through that, and we've gone through it ourselves. You fall away from it. We don't get that slice of humble pie every day because we're not. Well, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It sucks. It hurts. I don't want to fucking do this shit. Next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole of a vice, and you don't like the person looking back at you in the mirror, and you're like, oh, I'm sick of this fucking guy. I'm sick of this lady just staring at me, and it's like you can't run away from yourself, man. And
Yeah.
just that little slice of an hour, 30 minutes, like I'm a big fan of like do anything. I don't care. It's bodybuilding, CrossFit, yoga. I don't fucking care. Do something. Like walking around the block.
Hmm.
You've got to be able to do something, and it physically forces you to look at you.
Yeah,
It
it does.
exposes you to you, to quote Aristotle. Adversity exposes you to you, and you see who you've become.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's why I love bodybuilding because every single time that I go into a prep, I intentionally put myself in adversity on
Yes.
purpose to see what happens, to see what shadows come out, to see how I can become even better under that adversity. Because, yes, it is manufactured and I am choosing it, but we have adversity in all aspects of our life, whether it's with our business, our relationship, travel, moving, anything, money, finances, so many things.
Yeah.
And if you manufacture adversity, like something like bodybuilding, you're better equipped when those things show up in your life. You're like, oh, I got this. I've done hard things. I can do it here. I can do it here, and I can do it here.
Doing hard things, mate. Like it's something that seems so simple on paper. You're like, well, I should just choose a difficult task and try and do it. Like
Yeah.
that's where the answers lie. You're like, well, yeah, along that road, in the digging of the hole, in the lifting of the weight, or the hours of fucking cardio, or the diet, or the trying to paint something, in that process, that's where it all lies, not the outcome. The outcome doesn't really matter.
Yeah, very true. Oh, I totally agree. And I experienced that a lot during bodybuilding because of course when, a lot of people start their fitness journey, whatever it might be, it comes from it usually comes from a vain place.
Yeah.
They want to look better. They want to change their physique. They want that end goal, whatever it might be, whether it's a trophy, you want to fit into your wedding dress, you just want to have a bigger booty or you want to have a smaller waist. And we always are looking so far ahead that we're not living in the journey because that is actually where the magic happens. And I did that so much when I started my bodybuilding journey that it was just about like completing it. It was about getting the trophy. It was about getting the win that I missed out on months of the actual magic, which was prep, like the intentional suffering, if you will.
You're coming across like a crazy person.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, but
fucking
people
with.
that do bodybuilding or, I mean, especially bodybuilding, there's you kind of have to enjoy suffering. You have to have a very close relationship with pain.
Yep.
And, that's why only a small percentage of people will do it.
And even smaller will stick at it.
Yeah. And even, I mean, that's why there's amateurs, there's IFBB pros, then there's Olympians, because while you're working your way through each of those levels, people are dropping off because it's not for them,
I
which I
gotta,
get.
yeah, no problem. People are gonna find their own thing.
Yeah.
Find whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Do your thing. I don't want to say I have a saying, but I say quite a lot. I only like fucked up people, and it sounds a little, it sounds a little weird, right? But it's like no, because they understand who they are. They understand themselves, and they're like, hey, I understand that to the masses, to the social quote unquote norm, this is gonna come across a little strange.
Mhm.
However, I understand myself enough to be like, I need to do this.
Yep.
And whether there's going to be 1,000 people around or there's going to be zero people around, I'm going to be going out doing it. I like those
I love
people.
that. Yes.
They're awesome.
Well, I mean, I think the people that are, fucked up per se are also the people that are admitting that they're not perfect, that they have flaws. And the ones that maybe don't admit that they're a little like fucked up or whatever are just masking it or putting a band-aid over everything. And I've trust me, I've done that too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. But
Yeah.
I think those people are living. I think most people are alive, but they're not living.
Yeah.
Heart's beating, we're breathing, we go to sleep, we shit, we do whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're alive, but like, what are you doing? Who are you? What are you learning? How are you growing? How are you changing? How are you fucking up? And it's most of them, they're not. They're not doing that. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I think there is beauty in that abyss, in the zeitgeist. You've kind of got to walk into it and just be like, this is shit. Yeah, but eventually you start seeing colors, man. And it's I don't know, it's a
I love
weird,
that.
it's this hippy dippy, airy fairy stuff, and that's why I love athletes and fitness and health and fitness and physical attributes and just like wacky endurance or feats of strength, or you're just like, how would somebody be able to diet for 16 weeks and get to that level of composition? Yeah, unsustainably, but so is deadlifting 500 kilos. So is
Yes.
running a marathon every day for 100 days. That's not
Yeah.
sustainable, you know? Um, I think we take that. It's an art form. I see it as an art form. I really do. We take that conversation in our head, that feeling in the heart, in the soul that we can't quite understand, and we just physically express it using
Yeah.
this thing, this meat sack that we're attached to.
Very, very true. And bodybuilding is so beautiful. Like, I think that when people find out that you do that, it is so weird from the outside. It's like, okay, so you're telling me that you're going to diet for 4 to 5 months. You're going to get super small. You're going to put on a super dark tan. You're going to glaze up, go on stage half naked and pose in front of other humans and have them judge you.
Yeah, yeah,
Bodybuilders do one of the, and I don't want to speak like bodybuilders are the best or whatever, but bodybuilders, athletes, whatever it is that you do, there's other things that do this, but having the courage to go on a stage, whatever it might be, and do one of the hardest things that you can do, and that is be judged
mm,
by other humans. We avoid that so much
mm.
in our daily life. That's why a lot of us are living very complacent lives because we're afraid of what he's going to say, what she's going to say, what user 9997 on Instagram is going to say about your physique that has no profile photo. You're living for them ultimately instead of living for yourself. So, and trust me, I did that too. And then once I broke through that, there was so many beautiful things that started coming my way because I listened to what the universe was telling me to do and where it was telling me that I needed to go.
And you listen to yourself finally, right?
Yup.
Because
I
you
did.
fucking you fucking know. You know what's right for you. You know who's right for you now. Where to go. You know it's a little gut feeling.
We
You
just
know.
ignore it.
We just ignore that shit, mate.
Mhm.
And we do something else, and then we're like, "Oh, why am I ill all the time? Or I've always got a headache. Or I just don't feel right. Or I got some digestive problems, and my back always hurts." You're like, well, I don't know, man. Maybe we listen to that.
Yeah.
Maybe we try something.
Mhm. I mean, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. And I feel like a lot of us who are in that state, there's a lot of people in that state where you just like you keep trying and you keep doing it the same way. But
Yeah.
if you want something to change, you have to change. You have to change the way that you feel about yourself. You have to change the way that you're thinking. You have to change your actions. I mean, going from being this like really, I was very out of shape. I was eating tacos every day, wasn't drinking any water, only drank coffee, was smoking cigarettes, working at a salon, wasn't working out from being an IFBB pro. Like I had to change.
Yeah.
I had to change the way that I woke up every day, the way that I walked into a room, my habits, how I spoke to people. Something has to change if you want something to change. You can't just keep waking up every day and doing the same thing and expect the result you want.
Why do you think people have such an aversion to change?
Because it's uncomfortable.
Hmm.
It's so much easier to continue living the life that you're living. It is. It is easier to just keep waking up late, missing your workouts, ordering DoorDash. That is the easy option. So people will stay there forever and be unhappy forever when they can change their actions and maybe be uncomfortable for a short period of time for a lifetime of happiness.
Yeah.
And it's almost like if people can just see their life played out, like if it's hard for this moment right here, this is what you're going to get. Or You ignore that hard part in the middle, you're going to be unhappy for the rest of your life. Like if
Yeah.
people can just visually see that, I think more people would wake up to the fact that, okay, I got to start making some changes that are different from what I'm doing, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Because change and growth it's not comfortable. It's not always pretty. And a lot of times is messy. And whether it's fitness, your business, your marriage, it's not going to be linear. It's not going to go up, 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 up. It's more going to look like up and down like this. And I think people just want it to be like, I just want everything to be smooth sailing. And that's not how anything goes.
Yeah, good luck.
So they stay where they are, even if it means a lifetime of unhappiness and not living their purpose.
I think people intentionally look at their feet
Look at their
and
feet.
yeah, and they don't want to, metaphorically and physically speaking, they don't want to look up and see what direction they're heading in. They don't want to. They don't want to see
Yeah,
it. And now, distraction, consumerism, whatever. The consumerism's always been around, but we're all now always on the phone. So I'm now looking down all the time. I'm closed off. And it's like
true.
instantaneous. Like, what's the next thing? The next thing, the next thing, the next thing. I was like, yeah, but where does that go? If I do a line, everything's great for 10 minutes. If I do two
But
lines, next thing you know, I need four. Now that it's not working anymore. I was like,
yeah,
we've played dice. We know what comes up.
yeah,
So stop playing that game. Change.
yeah. You can only put so many band-aids over the same problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still going to be there. I weirdly too was having a conversation with my dad the other day on the phone, and he made this like analogy with like our shadows, whatever you want to call it, like things that we're struggling with in pain. And it's like a lot of us will view them like imagine them as like weeds. So if you just pick a weed from the top and you don't go to the root, it's going to continue to grow back. And I
Yep.
feel like that's what we do a lot is that, we're picking these weeds from the top. Just, okay, I got it. No, no, I did get it. I got it. I fixed it. And then you go back and look at your garden. It's like, no, it's growing again because you didn't get the root of it. And trust me, that's not fun or easy. I get that, but it's so worth it.
It's necessary, right?
It's necessary.
It is necessary because the world breaks us all, and the ones it doesn't break, it kills. If you
Yeah.
just refuse, you're like, nah, I'm going to stand flat footed and take on the world. Good luck, man. Like, this thing is going to fucking take you out, mate. We have to kind of move around with the waves a little bit. And sometimes my mum always used to say, like, sometimes you just got to lie back and let the waves take you wherever it takes. And
Yeah.
then you just kind of, get yourself upright again, start treading water and start swimming. And sometimes you're like, you know what? Okay, fine. Let me just lie back and just kind of be at peace with it.
Hmm.
If we are all a book or a character or chapters in it, there must be parts, there must be intermissions where we don't do much, we fuck around and we drink too much, and we end up in the wrong rooms. And, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I gotta change
Reel it
that.
in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But we all got those things. And
Yeah, we
it's
do.
it's
We
trying
do.
to nail the prejudice that we put on ourselves. We gotta be perfect though, right?
Yeah. We have to be perfect. I mean,
I
trust
I
me, I think I still think that too. I still wake up every day and have those thoughts of thinking that I need to do everything perfect. I have to have the perfect physique. I have to have the perfect life on social media. I have to have the perfect relationship, the perfect, business. It doesn't exist.
yeah, and I do believe there's judgment on all folks out there. Don't get me wrong, but I do think the perfection judgment of everything just kind of being in line, everything's always great and beautiful, and this, that, and the other. I do think it's directed more towards ladies.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. There's so many, and that's why what I do is so meaningful to me because there's
Yeah,
already so much. stigma and
Yeah.
expectations that are put on us from the day that we are born, and none of that actually belongs to us. You know, whether it's from your mom, from your dad, from society, from social media telling you what and how to live your life, all of that is picked up from when we're little girls, and it takes us into our adulthood. And if we lift heavy, then now we're men and now we're not feminine. And if we don't lift, now we're weak and we should work out. We can't win. So if that's the case, because no matter what you do, especially as a woman, someone's going to have something to say about it. I can tell you how many trolls I have in my TikTok right now that are telling me like, you look like a
Mm.
man, you're like, you're ugly, you're gross. But if I were to let those things keep me from my purpose, then ultimately they're winning. They're getting exactly what they want.
Yeah, I've never understood the whole, I'm not getting anything out of it. Nor do I know you, nor am I even related to it in any way. Paths don't cross, but hey, you're this, whatever. And you're like, doesn't make any sense. You're literally just taking the hurt and the fear and the aggression, which is usually from hurt and fear, and you're not dealing with it very well, and you're just kind of balling it up into a snowball and fucking chucking it at somebody else's garden. And you're
Yeah.
like, mate, that's gonna come home to roost. It really is. And I think most things, pretty much everything is linked together, right? And you see the suicide rate in men. Yeah, it's probably because of this very thing. Of, well, you're not dealing with it. You're chucking out on other people. Next thing you know, it comes home to roost. You're middle aged. You'd have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now swinging from a tree, and you're like, guys, again, stop fucking looking at your feet. Look up. Where are you going? What's going on? Okay, cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to put your hands up and say, sorry, I fucked up here. And we all say things. We all do things, no problem. Maybe you gotta go talk to someone. Maybe you don't. Maybe you gotta do something that isn't classed as feminine, masculine, whatever the fuck it is.
Mhm.
Maybe you just gotta work on a relationship with yourself. But I don't get this whole, oh, you shouldn't do that. Well, why? Because I don't like it. Cool. You're not involved.
No, this isn't your life. Last time I checked, this is my life. I mean, even to the point where, like, of course, when I first started doing what I do, it affected me a lot more because I
Mm.
was, already feeling insecure, feeling that imposter syndrome of, becoming a content creator and putting myself out there. But now that I've been doing it so long, like, I know what to expect. But when I first started, of course, like it hits you hard. You're like, oh my God, this person thinks this about me. It hurts my feelings. And now it's like I can find humor in it. People will even go down to telling me exactly how I should live my life. Exactly what I should eat, what I should and shouldn't wear, how I should do my makeup. It's crazy what shows that I should do. It's like crazy. And sometimes I'm a big fan of humor. I'm a big fan of like
Oh yeah.
especially when I'm doing a prep or something and it's awful. And sometimes it gets awful. Like making light of it because like what else am I gonna do? I chose this by at the end of the day. I'm choosing to do this. I could not do it if I didn't want to. So
Mm-hmm.
let's just make light of the fact that I feel like crap. I feel like shit. My face looks like I'm dead. But sometimes I'll just like comment back and someone will be like, "Oh my God, like you look better without makeup. Like you should stop wearing makeup." And I'll be like, "Okay, let me just go take off all my makeup real quick." Like, do you really think that I'm gonna see that comment and I'm gonna completely change everything that I'm doing?
Mm.
Or I'm gonna stop putting on muscle? No. If anything, I'm gonna put on more muscle. I'm gonna put on more makeup. But that's just my personality trait, and it can be a little toxic. I'm like, okay, you say I can't do something or I shouldn't. I'm gonna do it twice.
Okay, fuck you. Yeah, yeah. Rebellious in nature. I think you came to the right place, pal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me to
I
do
think there's
something,
kind
I'm
of
probably
like
gonna do the opposite.
two personalities where they're motivated by two different things. There's a type of person that is motivated by people not believing in them or saying they can't do something, and that's a motivating factor. And then there's other people where they are motivated by like the affirmation of it all, you know?
Yeah.
Like my partner, the way that I get him motivated is by like cheering him on and saying like he's doing great and he's killing it. The way that he motivates me is he'll tell me that my quads are small. And I'm like, bet. All right. I feel like you fall in the same category as me.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, I wasn't the best in school. I'm not the best in following rules, and it's like, nah, you shouldn't do that. Like initially,
I really want to.
yeah, the instantaneous thought in my brain is, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway." Like it's not good. It's got me in a lot of trouble. It's accomplished a lot of cool things, but
Yes, it can definitely do both.
yeah.
It can be dangerous and a little aggressive, but it can
Yes,
also, get like it. That mentality has also gotten me to where I am today. So
it's pros
I
and
think
cons
it's
and everything, and you have to be able to learn where the pros and cons lie,
yes, very true, very true.
and maybe take a breath before I tell people to fuck
Fuck
themselves.
off.
But
Be like, Zen. I'm Zen.
and honestly, it's a daily occurrence. I'm like, oh, I gotta slow that down a little bit. I'm just giving everybody the birds
Very true.
just because, it's like, fuck it. I'll get up at 2:30 in the morning and carry a rock up a mountain. Why not? Like you said, it wasn't fucking doable. And you're like, oh, Al, just pack it in, will you?
I
Yeah. The extreme
love it.
mindset. But I got three questions.
Okay.
What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
That I've received.
Yeah. It can be from
Oh,
yourself.
I think probably one thing that my dad said, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but it's something along the lines of like everything that you want like in this lifetime is on the other side of your fear. And I truly believe that. So I'd probably say that. I probably said it wrong, but it's fine. You get the point.
I understand. Two nutters having a conversation. I get it. It's not English, but I understand. What is your relationship like with fear?
With fear,
Yeah.
now it's my it's my cue that it's something that I really care about and that I have to do it. So, and
Mm.
I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about like, I see someone chasing me and I have fear and I'm like, I gotta chase them now. But it's like, if I, like, for example, when I was leaving my job as a hairstylist and makeup artist, and I knew that I wanted to be everything that I am right now. And I had so much overwhelming fear about quitting my job and being a entrepreneur. And I knew I was like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
So now I have a very comfy relationship with fear because if I'm getting a little scared of something or feeling like I'm not worthy of doing it, that's my cue that like it's something that I care about and that I should do it.
Yeah. What's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
It would probably be something. Oh man, I don't know. Usually I tune it out.
It's good.
It could have been something to do with when I was younger. When I was from 15 to 18, I was the only girl on an all boys wrestling team. So it was either people thought it was really cool or people thought it was really weird, which is so similar to what I do now. Because like now people think it's either cool or it's really weird. And I think then I just got, told a lot that, women can't do, you should just do something different.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do something like more like dance, or maybe you should do something more girly. So I think that's the worst advice that I ever got was like, maybe you should be over here instead of over here. And obviously I didn't listen. So
And
didn't know.
obviously it
Yeah.
worked out.
Obviously, it worked in my favor, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole, I mean, you can understand why there are gender stereotypes looking in the
Yeah.
past, right? You're like, okay, yeah, I understood. It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to fucking raise a village. I think it's the
Hmm.
synergy between people that helps this world spin. We've all got our own little role, but just be like, oh, well, you have a cock and balls between your legs or you don't. That means you can't do this and you have to go do that. You're like, you don't even know who that person is. Maybe they're going to be the next Ronda Rousey. Maybe they're going to be the next Picasso. Fuck, it could be anything. Billy Elliot, something that is stereotypically a little across the line. You're like, well, maybe they're going to redefine the line.
I
You
love
never
that.
know. You never
I
know.
love that. I love it.
All right, I got one more question.
Okay, cool.
What are the 3 words you would tell your younger self?
3 words.
Yeah. It can be a sentence, it can be individual words.
You
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
powerful. I would.
Touche.
I would have gotten here a lot quicker too, but it's fine.
But you can't rush it, right? You won't know things that you know now.
Very true. It
You
all
know,
happened on divine time. I know that now.
divine time. Hmm. I like that. Chief, thank you so much for your time. This has been an honor and a
Of
privilege.
course. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is fun.
Thank you for letting me talk shit.
Got you.
Mate, we'll talk soon. Good luck with the prep. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Speak soon.
Bye.
See you later, mate. Bye, everybody.